When your Facebook ads are working really well, you're always looking for strategies on how you can make them even better. And today I'm going to show you my go-to way of getting even better results, especially for clients and prospects who are looking to get more leads at lower cost as we go through. And it's all about kind of dividing your audience into several different parts. And I'll explain that in just a second. If you're just joining one of my lives for the first time, I'm Brian Czekanski, better known as the Mom Copywriter, because I focus on coaches and businesses that have moms as their primary audience. So this is one of the things that came up to me. I'm going through kind of the prospecting process and kind of taking a look at, again, coaches and businesses that are focusing on, moms, but also especially women across various different industries. And this was one that popped up for me, kind of a relationship coach that I'll go through in just a second. In looking at her and doing research on her, she seems to be doing quite well, has a long list of success stories that I'll show you in just a second. So she's got a proven offer. She's aggressively investing in Facebook ads as a primary lead source to get more people onto her webinar and eventually into her private coaching and masterminds and several other offers that she has along the way. But in looking at her ads, I'm always looking for ways that I can potentially reach out to her and potentially add value. And one of the things that kind of stuck out to me, especially as I went through the success stories, is, thinking about what are those different ways that we can reach out to that same audience, but maybe in a more specific way. And this is really all about audience segmentation, really taking your primary audience. All the marketing gurus will talk about how you have to have an ideal client. But what you'll find is, especially as you run Facebook ads for a good period of time, you're getting results, is your ideal client base, your audience will, as you dig into them, as you start to learn more about their stories, as you get into their struggles, what results you've been able to deliver for them, and ultimately what they're trying to build towards, is that you'll see that you can actually divide up your ideal audience into smaller buckets, smaller segments. And by doing that, you can be even more specific in your Facebook ads. You can speak directly to the situation they're in right now, those key benefits or the key outcomes they're looking for. And by being more specific, you're going to speak more of their language. They're going to be much more they're going to gravitate towards your posts as they scroll through the nose feed. Those specific words and phrases that are that you bring up as you talk to them, as you do your research, as you get testimonials. You're really going to catch their attention, and that's going to lead to lower lead costs, better results from your Facebook ads, because you're being more specific. You know your audience a lot better, and you're able to speak to, again, their current reality and those end goals they're looking for. So I just want to show you this just as an example. Again, this was just one that I found today. And as I dug into it, I just want to kind of show you what it looks like. So here's kind of her existing ads and the way they look at it. So her main audience, again, Hillary Silver is the relationship coach here. And you can just see within her Facebook ad library, I'll go through it really quickly. She's running a series of different ads. You can see 24 different ads. So again, it's a big lead source for her in terms of getting new clients. Again, her end goal is to get people onto a webinar. In that 30-minute to 45-minute webinar, she sets up her solution and ultimately gets people on a phone call to qualify them and eventually get into either private coaching or mastermind or several other offers that she has out there. So you can see, really just kind of testing out a variety of different images here. You can see the copy really is the same as we go all the way down the line. It has small tweaks, but really setting up that webinar as well. The other thing I want to point out is she has extremely long copy, really focused in, more recently, focused on her story. So you can see just how long the Facebook copy is, but ultimately it gets into kind of her transformational story. So, she's one, she focuses on high achieving women and getting them, getting their love life sorted out. It's kind of the missing piece that they've, they have a great career, they might have a great family, but they haven't been able to kind of figure out that love life. And that's kind of her focus. And she kind of shares her personal story of going through the same thing. So ultimately she's coming back and helping people that are just like her, go back 20 years, who are kind of struggling with the same thing and bringing them along. So again, a really powerful way to kind of use your own story to get people interested and get to that webinar. And as we go through and as I dug deeper into her website, she has this PDF, which is 49 pages long in terms of results. So you can see here, she has many of the same testimonials that you'd see everywhere else. So again, best life-changing experience ever, Hillary Silver. It talks really about Hillary more than anything else, and less about the story. And this is what I'm seeing more and more as I really look out and reach out to prospects. Is most people will have these testimonials that are really more focused on the coach or the business. But what your audience really wants is more of those video testimonials where you're really talking about the transformational story of your clients and really showing them where they were before they met you, what you were able for them to achieve, and what their life looks like right now. And that's really powerful, not only for your Facebook ad copy, but also can be attached some video. If you want to do some video ads along with that, they want to hear from your clients that look and sound just like them, talking about they've been in your place, they've been in the same place that your prospects are in, and how you're able to kind of transform their life and talk about how their life has changed for the better on the other side. So again, that's the one thing that I see all the time. What I'm going to do is link below is to the video testimonial video that I did a few months ago that gives you 5 specific questions that you should always be reaching out to your happy clients with, to get them, to either give you a video testimonial, or what I'll show you in just a second, which is Hillary does really effectively, get them on a Zoom call, ask them these series of 5 questions, and you can kind of dig in a little bit deeper. And what that'll do is really dig into their story and really bring out why, for your prospects, why you've helped somebody just like them get the results that they're looking for. You can have some of your past clients talk about their objections and hesitations, and you can also have them talk in their own language how their life has changed and how your help was able to get them there. So really important. And this is what she really has on this next page. So again, she reached out to, you can see just the amount of different video testimonials. And again, if anything, one of the key things that I reach out to in terms of prospects is just kind of coming together and doing, she's got about 10 video testimonials here. Again, if you can add video testimonials to your sales pages, to your order forms, to your email copy, to your Facebook page, there's so many different ways that you can use video testimonials and in kind of sharing the story in written form, but also in video. Really powerful way for one of your prospects to come through, and what your prospects will do is actually scroll through and see okay, among these women, which one kind of looks like me. And if you look at some of the headlines, what is the one that really appeals to me? So nobody, not a lot of prospects are going to sit here and listen to all 10 of these video testimonials, which tend to be about 30 minutes in length, but they'll choose the one that, and they'll choose the one that looks exactly like them. And as they go through, they'll get a feeling oh, wow, she's talking about the same things that I'm going through. And wow, she's talking about the transformation, all the things that I struggled with. And wow, she was able to get the results that I really want the most. And, wow, she's talking about that dream life that I really, sit here and really think about. And she's actually achieved it with, this coach's help. So, beyond anything else, if you're going to try to improve your marketing, your Facebook ads at this time, one of the best things that you can do is just reach out to your happy clients and ask for video testimonials, or again, get on a Zoom interview and really bring out their story as much as possible. Again, your prospects will see as they go through, and everybody's different marketing. Everybody will talk about how great that coach is or how great that business is, but really what your prospects want to hear is kind of that objection is can you help me in my unique situation? So if you can give them one or multiple people that look and sound just like them, talking about the struggles that they're going through right now, the dream life that they want the most, and how you actually got them to the other side, that's a really powerful way to increase your conversions, lower your lead costs over time, and go through that. So we finally get to, again, this kind of gets down to okay, how can we improve the Facebook ad? Looking at our Facebook ads right now, it's really going out to those high achieving women. She's kind of using her story to as a way to catch their attention. So how can we potentially test out some other ads to see if we can get some even better results? And the way I was kind of really thinking about it and going through several of these success story video testimonials and really getting to know her clients really well is really segmenting the audience. So in thinking about those high achieving women that are coming to her on a day-to-day basis, you can kind of get a sense for like, what are they struggling with? And there was a couple that kind of stuck out to me. And again, I haven't gone through all the video testimonials altogether, but I can tell you there's a few themes that really stuck out to me. So in one, in a couple different video testimonials, it was a lot of divorced women who, are coming off marriages that were maybe 20 or 25 years that they never thought their marriage would end, but now they're in the place where, they want some companionship. They want a relationship going forward, and they want to kind of heal their broken heart from that marriage that they were just in. So they come to Hillary and work with her to get back to the place where they can start dating again and find that quality man that they were looking for. So that's one area of kind of segmenting the market, thinking about like, okay, one side of it is kind of divorced women that are just, either going through or coming out of a divorce and just need to, get back in the dating scene and figure out like, okay, what is the type of man that I want in this point in my life, and how can I actually start to attract that person? The other thing, a couple other ones that kind of stuck out to me, and I'm just going back to my notes here really quickly. The other one was really those women that always felt like the guy that they wanted the most was always unavailable. They were married or already had a girlfriend or things like that. And the rest of the men that were out there were just ones that were, just not up to the quality that they were looking for. And it was all about kind of, thinking about, how they were kind of getting off that hamster wheel of always looking for the wrong people or dating the wrong people. And how can we change around our own self-beliefs and self-actions to start getting in front of and start attracting those quality guys that they want the most, and kind of change around that belief that like all the quality guys are already taken, and everybody else is kind of picking up the scraps. So obviously kind of thinking about like, okay, like that situation where it's just like, I can't find a quality guy. Well, they're actually out there if you kind of change around your day-to-day habits, but also your belief system in putting out the right energy to attract the right guys. And the other one was kind of thinking about, the other one that came about just really briefly was those women that kind of, have their own self-beliefs that around the relationships. They're always pushing away guys. So they would go through, tons of different relationships that would last anywhere from 3 weeks to 3 months. And they're always pushing away these guys because they never thought they were worthy of these relationships. It might go back to something in their childhood and or their teenage years, which kind of just created this narrative in their head that they weren't worthy of a loving relationship. And by working with Hillary, they were able to correct a lot of those, the narrative in their head and kind of the self-beliefs around that. And they were able to start, going out there and being worthy of relationships and start attracting the right guys along the way. So those were kind of just 3 off the bat. But again, you can see how in being more specific about the problems that these women are facing when they come to Hillary, it can be a better way in kind of sharing some more of those stories within the Facebook ad copy. You can really speak to what are they going through right now? What are they thinking about? And kind of sharing that transformational story, how they kind of weaved through some of those problems. What were some of those key techniques that Hillary provided along the way? And what were some of those key results? So again, the outcome that a divorced mom is looking for might be a lot different than, say, a younger woman who has never been married before and just going through, some self-belief challenges as you go through. So again, speaking to their specific struggles and their specific stories, and kind of sharing some of these client success stories can be a great way to again, accelerate the results that she's getting and really testing it out versus some of the ads that she's running, which are, again, very much focused on her story, which very much resonates with these high achieving women. But how can we go a little bit deeper in terms of that detail that we're looking for? And this is something that I've done a lot as well. So I'll give you one more example. One more example is I've worked with a variety of different education companies over the last year. Again, very much focused on moms as that audience, But within moms that are trying to get education opportunities in front of their kids, especially as there's been a lot of kids stuck at home or closed, schools being closed, you obviously have different segments of the audience. You have those moms that are homeschooling their kids. You have other moms that are sending their kids to school and have various different, their kids are at different segments. So you obviously have those kids that are high achievers. You have those moms that are very much into kind of that STEM type of advancement. Their kids are way ahead of all their peers. And these moms are really looking to keep their kids ahead of the pack. So obviously, as you run a Facebook ad and write that language to that specific segment, you're going to speak in very different language than, say, the opposite audience, where you have a mom that is sending their kid to school and their kid is falling behind in school, and they're worried about their kid falling even further behind. And maybe when they do go back to school, they'll have to start maybe a grade behind. So again, speaking to those words, again, that parent that has their kid ahead and is trying to keep their kid ahead is going to have very different beliefs, very different outcomes they're looking for, versus a parent that has their kid behind and is worried about their kid falling further behind. So again, you can kind of see the different nuances in the language, the situation, the problems that each of these different Facebook ads could really go out there and do, what language and words and phrases you're going to use, and how you can kind of position your solution to get them the specific outcome that they're looking for the most. So that was just one that came on my radar today. Again, using segmentation, kind of really dividing up your audience, really getting to know them over time, especially as your Facebook ads are working really well. That's where you want to go out and get those video testimonials. Again, I'll link it below this video to the specific YouTube video where I went through the 5 specific questions you should give to your happy clients to get a video testimonial back. Again, if you want to do it the same thing, and the easiest way to do it is to do it just like Hillary did, do a Zoom call where you go through those 5 questions, and actually you can dig a little bit deeper with your clients and do a longer video. So again, Hillary's videos were 20 to 30 minutes long versus, say, like a 4 or 5 minute video. You can obviously edit them over time, but the idea is by getting those video testimonials, you get a great sense of where your audience's stories are all about. And then you can really kind of start to group your audience into 2 or 3 or 4 different segments. And once you get into those segments, you can really think about the specific language, the struggles, the outcomes, the desires that each of those segments is looking for. You can write a more specific Facebook ad copy and use different images that really speak to their situation, and use that to test against the successful Facebook ad that's really running right now. You can obviously be more specific in your targeting as well for that ad to make sure that the right ad is placed in front of the right audience. So all those different things can help you accelerate progress, especially if your Facebook ad is working well for a longer period of time. We want to be able to kind of accelerate that, use other ways to kind of test out different ad copy, different images, different targeting to get you even better results along the way. That will allow you to eventually scale your ads and increase your market share whichever industry that you're in, by really getting to know your audience, speaking the language that the situation that they're in and the desires that they want, and ultimately get the results that you're looking for. So let me know in the comments below. Let me know, what specific audience do you focus on? Who's your ideal client? And, maybe I can give you a response and we can kind of dig a little bit deeper in terms of the possible segments that might kind of underlie. What are some of those segments below your ideal customers that we can kind of dig in a little bit more as we get to know their stories, so that you can speak a little bit more specifically to different parts of your audience and potentially get more conversions at lower cost and get more clients in the door on a consistent basis. So if you got value out of this, feel free to hit that like button, share it with anybody that is running some Facebook ads right now, but is looking for even better performance. And check out my lives every day around 4 to 4:30, covering everything from a Facebook ads perspective, everything from writing copy to how to set them up properly and how to manage them, how to do some of the targeting, compliance, all those things I cover on a Monday through Friday basis. But for now, take care.